The body of a fallen Marine from Northeast Ohio back home. Lance Corporal Austin Schwenk killed in an incident at his base in North Carolina earlier this month. The plane carrying his body landed at Hopkins Airport about an hour ago. His remains are being brought to a funeral home right now in Menor. My goodness. News 5's Catherine Ross live outside that funeral home right now with a look at the impact Austin Schwenk made right here in Northeast Ohio.
Yeah, Rob, we're expecting that procession to arrive back here at the funeral home within the hour, where a group of Marines will haul his casket inside the building. Now, this is first in a series of tributes to Lance Corporal Austin Schwenk, and we're expecting a lot of people to show out and show their support for him. Now, some who knew Austin tell me that he had a lasting impact here in Northeast Ohio, even now. Austin Schwenk had a plan when he committed to the Marine Corps in 2022.
I chose the Marines for the simple fact that it will give me the discipline and leadership that I believe I will be able to use later in my life.
Some tell us discipline and leadership were already tenets of the Riverside grad's life before he enlisted.
He was very disciplined in the things that mattered to him.
Anna Day first met Austin when he started training at her gym in middle school.
And I know he's a grown man and that, and a Marine at that. But it's hard, like for me, I still see him as like this crazy Austin running around like crazy.
She got to know him better when he signed on for the 24 in 24, a 24-hour endurance event where participants run a mile every hour for 24 hours straight. It raises money for children battling life-threatening illnesses. At age 14, Austin was one of the youngest the event ever saw.
He's just flying around. He was so good at running and so fast, and he just made it look easy. He was a great kid.
That kid grew into a U.S. Marine, following in his father's footsteps. But earlier this month, his long-term plans were cut short. The Lance Corporal died at Camp Lejeune in a barracks shooting incident. Details have been limited, but investigators there are calling the death a homicide and say another Marine is being held as a suspect. Tuesday, Austin is returning home.
When Austin is flown back to Cleveland Hopkins Airport, the transfer will be from the aircraft to a hearse, and then we'll process back to the funeral home.
Law enforcement, veterans groups, and more are leading a procession from the Brunner Sandin Dietrich Funeral Home in Menor to the airport and back, after what the military calls a dignified transfer of Austin's body. At the family's request, the procession will drive past his alma mater, Riverside High School.
We're doing the best we can to walk them and make it as easy as possible on them.
Austin's obituary asked for donations to a Special Wish Foundation. It's the same organization Austin supported in the years he ran the 24 in 24. And Day says even though Austin's life was cut short, he continues to have a lasting impact.
There's a very large group of people in Lake County that are grieving because Austin was unique, he was special, he was memorable.
Now there's a visitation happening here at the funeral home from 3 o'clock to 8 o'clock on Friday. There's also a funeral service being held over at Riverside High School at 10 a.m. on Saturday. And Rob, both of those events are open to the public. We're live in Menor tonight. I'm Catherine Ross, News 5.
Just a tough day, no matter which way you slice it. Catherine, thank you so much for that. It means a lot.